There's a lot of stories about this event, and none of them are really that good. The level of suffering, the amount of dirt or clay, the amount of wildlife, it's kind of an infamous race, and so my expectations were low. I just wanted to be a finisher. That didn't stop me from getting myself in serious trouble on day one. We've been in the jungle, we've been on top of a volcano, we're now at this super cool property, and tomorrow we finish on the Caribbean.
My name is Romano Urbina, and I'm the race director and creator for La Ruta De Los Conquistadores, which is the oldest mountain bike stage race on the planet. We start in the Pacific side and cross over the Caribbean side in 3 days.
For mountain bike racing, it's right up there with one of the most difficult, and particularly with the jungle elements and then just the grinding, rolling, loose gravel climb.
Day one is 86 kilometers and almost 4,000 meters of altitude. Day two is 90 kilometers. Go up to 2 volcanoes, up to 3,000 meters and back to 400 meters, so it goes up and down. And day three is a flat day, and it goes along banana and pineapple plantations and crosses rivers and jungles, and you get to ride on the beach for a long time.
I'll make it real simple. Yesterday was not just the hardest day I've ever had on a bike, it was the hardest day by a factor of 5 or 10. I mean, it was that bad. The first day we were here, we were invited to go to what is essentially the Ronald McDonald house of Costa Rica, right? And we met the leadership team there, we met all of the patients, all of their parents, and so when you see little ones and their parents, right? I mean, it's as a parent of 5, I can't even imagine what it would be like. There's so many layers there. Adults are wimps. Adults lay down, adults get lethargic, adults can whine and complain. Kids are just as sick, but they're just ripping. Right? And it's, yes, they get treatment, but the second they're done, it's like, where's the games? When are we playing? And so it's that energy is super inspiring. I didn't know what was going to happen the next day, where I felt like I needed to be in a hospital. My good friend and old teammate, George Cappy, who did all 7 tours with me, had committed to come. Publicly committed, everybody excited. And at the last minute, he decided that he was gonna miss Halloween. So George didn't come. I was like, dude, I need a wingman. And it just popped in my head. I was like, Kloser. Here's a guy who's an outdoor legend, mountain bike Hall of Fame, adventure racer, can get himself out of any bind. I was like, Kloser will get me through this.
When I got the message from Lance to come down here and race in Costa Rica with him, I thought, that could be really cool. I think I can keep up. Well, we'll see how it goes, When you race with this guy, there's a lot of suffering that can happen. Yesterday, one of the aid station stops we had was just past the actual aid station. Lance pulled up to a little convenience store. It was perfect because it was in the shade, it was away from everybody, there was not all the cameras and people wanting this and that, and so he kind of has to literally kind of hide or remove himself from that as much as possible.
If certain things go wrong, no matter how much you're prepared or taught to deal with suffering, you can't, right? If your nutrition goes wrong and your stomach turns off, I don't care who you are, like it is just going to be terrible. I had dug myself a hole that I couldn't get out of. And the only way to get out is to stop and rest or lay down. My whole career I've struggled with the heat. It was just oppressive, like hot and humid and exposed and oof. Well, you saw, I mean, I was white as a ghost. I mean, Kloser is the reason I got across the finish line. If it wasn't for him, I don't think I could have got across. I mean, he was such a great teammate and wingman, and he was a supermensch. He's a competitive guy, he's super fit, but he never got frustrated. I was like, Mike, I'm gonna have to stop for a second. Or Mike, I'm gonna walk. And he was just like, dude, whatever you gotta do. Hang in there, don't stop, let's go. And today, maybe not that the tables were turned today, but if I had to say, I think I had him today. I think I had him.
We got the 2 hardest days behind us, so tomorrow's going to be more of a fast race, and Lance is talking about wanting to win. What the hell is that about? I'm thinking I better get a good night's sleep.
Suffering is the main course of this race. I don't think there is a personal growth without suffering. You can't grow without pain. It's like a military exercise of 500 people crossing jungles, rivers, and all kinds of dangerous things, like a war. So it's really a conquest. The whole meaning of the journey is that do the best you can with what you have, come out on top.
There's a lot of weird things about it, but these 3:30 wake ups, 5 o'clock starts, I'm not used to that. There's 500 riders here, I'm one of them. 400 of these people, you never would imagine that they could finish. It's that hard. It's actually kind of silly how hard it is. Well, I'll remember a lot. I'll remember the graciousness of the Costa Rican people. Like, I'm behind. Every day I've been like, dude, I'm out of shape. And I've been traveling and working and hustling and sort of doing a lot of stuff and not training. For me, this was in a weird way, it was like a reset. It's like, you're not made to suffer like this. Like, get it together. And so I leave inspired to figure out what I'm gonna do next, but also get back on my game. It was a big wake-up call, but I'm glad I did it.
Otro ecuatoriano más. Ojo, ojo, ojo. Este es el compañero de Lance Armstrong, justamente. Bueno, aquí va. Eso, Juan Luis.